Thank you for being with us this morning. My name is Brian Steger. I'm the Director for the Los Angeles County Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. We gathered you all here this morning to help us spread the good news that many of Los Angeles County residents are eligible to claim the California Earned Income Tax Credit, or CalEITC. CalEITC is designed to put money in the pockets of working families and individuals. These important refunds supplement workers' salaries and help lift people out of poverty. Claiming this credit is easy. Eligible taxpayers just need to file a state tax return. Today, under the leadership of Supervisor Cheryl Pillar, the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors will proclaim this week as CalEITC Week throughout Los Angeles County. Supervisor Pillar was elected to the Board of Supervisors on November 4th, 2014. Since then, the supervisor has undertaken or collaborated in a number of initiatives and motions to improve the quality of life and reform county systems, including increasing the minimum wage, creating a Sheriff's Oversight Commission, providing unprecedented funding and services for our homeless population, and supporting the creation of the county's Center for Financial Empowerment. Please join me in welcoming to the podium the Honorable Supervisor from the 3rd District, Cheryl Pillar.
Brian, all of those credits, of course, you could say that Hilda Solis did those as well, because one of the interesting things about the Board of Supervisors is you can't do anything by yourself. And one of the good things is you always have partners. So it's a great pleasure to be here. As Brian indicated, there's a lot of money left on the table by families that most need it every year. The federal Earned Income Tax Credit's been in place since 1975. And every year, hundreds of millions of dollars go unclaimed because people don't really know that just by filing a tax return and there's an area on it that you can claim your earned income tax credit. Credit is dollar for dollar taxes you don't pay. So if you owe $1 and you get a dollar back in EITC, you get to keep it. And in many cases, they will write you a check for money back, because don't forget, they've been withholding your money and using it. And we certainly want our money back these years from the federal government. The California EITC is new. They put it into place last year, but it increases the amount of money that you can get back. So it's claimed by primarily qualifying, as they say, but that means low-income earners. It's one of the county's best kept secrets in terms of the ways in which we're trying to figure out how to fight poverty. Raising the minimum wage is one of them, but this is one key way to do it, and it's also one of the least known. So we want to change that starting today. California, as I say, adopted the plan last year, and one reason that we put in place the Center for Financial Empowerment was to help people figure out how they can get this money back. This is your own money that you're essentially getting back. And so we are going to establish places where people can get their tax returns done for nothing. There'll be information about that on our website. The Center for Financial Empowerment is working with other people, and you may hear a little bit about it later, to establish other ways in which we can make certain that you stay in your housing where you are, that you're able to put food on the table, and that you also know that the county is with you in every way about this. We want everyone who qualifies to get this money. We want everyone to be able to not just survive, but thrive in LA County. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor. Appreciate your remarks. Next, I'd like to bring up Supervisor Hilda Solis. The Supervisor was elected to the Board of Supervisors on November 4th, 2014. Since then, the Supervisor has worked to protect and support our most vulnerable populations, including making sure that workers receive their minimum wage, supporting small businesses, and creating a one-stop shop for immigrants needing county services. Prior to becoming Supervisor, she served as Secretary of Labor, and she also represented the 32nd Congressional District. Please welcome the Honorable Supervisor from the 1st District, Hilda Solis.
Buenos dias, and thank you so much for joining us here. And I really want to give a shout out to Supervisor Pillar, because she's right on when she says that it does take more than one or two individuals to pass motions. We need a majority of the board, and thank goodness here in Los Angeles County, we can clearly declare that we are one of those specific areas where a progressive agenda is moving forward. I'm really happy to be here, and I'm happy that Supervisor Kuehl has declared this week as California Earned Income Tax Week. It's important, especially for low-income families, especially working class families that need to put more food on the table. If they can draw down an extra $100 or $50 or whatever it might be, it's going to mean the difference between them either staying in their home, being able to put money away in a banking account, or even putting away a few dollars even for college. All of these things are very, very important, especially for immigrant communities. Some of them many of them that do file their income tax returns don't realize that they simply have to, check off a box and they will be eligible for this return. And I recall working in the federal government. We used to have workshops all the time. I know the county does this as well through our community services groups and organizations, where we have several of these workshops that go out in multilingual services that are available for everyone. So if you're Asian, if you're Spanish speaking, if you're an immigrant from another country and you're eligible for this, you need to apply. Brevemente, solamente es importante que esta semana estamos declarando que es tan importante hacer sus impuestos y también para aplicar para este crédito que va a ayudar a las familias trabajadoras. Es importante porque puede ser que puedan ganar más dinero que se puede regresar a su bolsa para ir a colegio, para pagar la renta, para pagar comida, lo que sea. Pero muchos inmigrantes, especialmente los que hablan español, no entienden que es dinero casi gratis que les van a regresar a las familias. So with that, I just want to say I'm great to be here. Thank you, Supervisor Kuehl, and all the organizations that are working with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Supervisor. Tanisha, do we have our constituents here? Okay, all right. Okay, so next we are going to bring to the podium Mr. Joseph Sandberg, who I had the pleasure of meeting about a year ago. Joseph is the chair of CalEITC for me, and is a leader using the tools of business and public policy to make people's lives better. Joe is co-founder of Aspiration.com, the fastest growing online financial firm in America, which delivers banking and investing services built for everyone. In 2015, Joe was the leading advocate for the first ever state income tax credit. When the state didn't allocate enough money for outreach to promote its CITC, Joe launched CalEITC for me, which we are a partner, by the way, a statewide organization campaign that connected over 400,000 working California families with $1 billion of state and federal earned income tax credit. Just this month, Governor Brown referred to this program as one of the most significant accomplishments of the past 4 years. Please help me welcome Joseph Sandberg, please.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Supervisors Kuehl and Solis. At this moment of political tumult, these bright lights, these progressive champions of the working families of Los Angeles County deserve special recognition, so thank you very much. CalEITC is more than just the dollars and cents and the hundreds of thousands of families that we engage and reach. It's about addressing the persistent economic anxiety that grips so many Los Angeles County families. An economic anxiety that makes uncertain how families get the food that their kids need, the clothing that their kids wear to school, the transportation to needed jobs, the shelter to provide the beds where their kids sleep. You know, this is personal for me. I grew up in a low-income household, and I knew firsthand the uncertainty, that constant stress of economic anxiety that can overhang and afflict a family. There's way too many families in Los Angeles County who are afflicted with this constant economic anxiety. When you are gripped with constant economic anxiety, you can't be fully human. You can't live as God created you to live, which is why this mission to bring economic security to all is so historically important. And I'm so glad to be here with Los Angeles County and Supervisors Kuehl and Solis to announce this special partnership. My inspiration to get involved comes from the famous philosopher Dr. Seuss. When I was thinking about EITC and California's lack of a state EITC a couple of years ago, I turned to this influential part of my childhood, and my mom referred me to this particular quote by Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss wrote, "Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to change. It's not." We've been talking about persistent economic anxiety and what it does to families and kids for decades. I remember this issue when I was a kid. I remember hearing about it when I was a teenager and first becoming attuned to politics. And we're still talking about it today. In fact, it's become worse since the time I was a kid. And I'm determined that when my kids' generation and my grandkids' generation are sitting here in Los Angeles County, they aren't going to be talking about a state of economic anxiety that's worse, gripping more families. It's time we actually do something about this and bring economic security to every family in Los Angeles County. That's why we're here today, following the wisdom of Dr. Seuss. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe. That's great. And then finally, our final speaker here today is James Alva. James is Southern California Market Manager and Senior Vice President for City Community Development. He is responsible for managing a multi-million-dollar budget supporting Citibank's strategy to help to develop the most underserved communities across Southern California. In 2016, he helped us launch the Los Angeles County Center for Financial Empowerment with the Board of Supervisors, and now he serves as the chair of the advisory board. Please help me welcome James Alva.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brian mentions James Alva, and I manage Citibank's Community Development Department for Southern California. It's my great pleasure to be here, but first of all, I want to thank the supervisors, Solis and Kuhl, for your leadership, and couldn't do it without the support of Brian and his team and Joe. And at Citibank, we are a big, complex company with a presence in over 100 countries and over 1,000 cities, but our mission is really quite simple. It's to enable progress. And we believe that we cannot enable progress unless we are helping increase financial inclusion for all people, particularly in a place here like Los Angeles. As you know, many families in Los Angeles are financially vulnerable. And we recognize that the Earned Income Tax Credit is a powerful tool that low to moderate income families have at their disposal to become financially resilient. Too many hardworking families, however, just simply don't know about Earned Income Tax Credit and are really missing out on this opportunity. Each year in Los Angeles, over $300 million goes left unclaimed by needy families here. And we know that the biggest and the best way to increase this opportunity for families is by partnering with our municipal partners like the county supervisors. And that's why we were so proud to help fund and create the Center for Financial Empowerment with the leadership of the supervisors last year. We have experience with Centers for Financial Empowerment across the country. We have helped to either start or expand Centers for Financial Empowerment in cities like San Francisco, Oakland, Boston, Chicago, and New York. And one of the things that we have noticed in all of those cities is that by having a strong Center for Financial Empowerment, we are able to help increase the filing of Earned Income Tax Credit in those cities. So we're very happy to partner with the county on the Center for Financial Empowerment here in Los Angeles. And we know that by doing so, we will help to enable progress for the neediest families here in Los Angeles. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Just want to take 1 second and recognize Cheryl Pillar, who is here. Raise your hand, Cheryl. Cheryl is the director for the Department of Public Social Services and is a real partner in our Center for Financial Empowerment and helping to educate high school graduates as they enter college. So there are about 37 departments for the County of Los Angeles, and I happen to manage the Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. It is, in my opinion, the best department in the entire county. And the reason why it is because the Board of Supervisors have put policies and programs in place for my department to make sure that we are serving the most vulnerable populations in the County of Los Angeles, whether they're young, foster youth in particular, or young at heart, or families facing foreclosure, low-wage workers, small businesses, immigrants. Our Department of Consumer and Business Affairs is here to serve all of Los Angeles County, and in this very special moment in time, I just want to take 1 second and recognize and acknowledge the leadership of these two supervisors and the Board of Supervisors. So thank you very much for being here this morning. The supervisors will have a couple of minutes, I think, for one-on-one interviews, right?